We know that the vast majority of Canadians want to do their part to keep people safe and want to get vaccinated. And we also know that the vast majority of Canadians believe in having some way to prove that vaccination, having a vaccine passport. And we know that people on the front line that are providing care or providing services directly to Canadians can pose a higher risk and should be vaccinated.
This is unacceptable news. Joe Russell with the front line with Joe and Joe. Once again, let us go into the breach. Jagmeet Singh says we absolutely believe that there needs to be mandatory vaccines and there should be consequences for those who are not able to or not willing to do that. Play the clip.
We know that the vast majority of Canadians want to do their part to keep people safe and want to get vaccinated. And we also know that the vast majority of Canadians believe in having some way to prove that vaccination, having a vaccine passport. And we know that people on the front line that are providing care or providing services directly to Canadians can pose a higher risk and should be vaccinated. So we would work with unions and work with the workers on the ground to make sure we establish a way to move forward, but we absolutely believe that there needs to be mandatory vaccines and there will be consequences for those who are not able to or not willing to do that. And we can look at what those consequences are.
Here's the bottom line, Canada. People are being refused medical care because they are not vaccinated. Ultimately, it's leading towards and pointing towards a vaccination passport, which, if you ask me, is dangerous. It allows the government to see and understand and know what your medical history is, and that's none of their business. As far as refusing care for people who aren't vaccinated, that is an atrocity. It's a human rights violation, and it's got to stop. A wild scene as Justin Trudeau leaves his office. Play the clip.
Look at her go. Look at her go. Look at her go. She's chasing people now. Look at this. Look at this.
Fuck you, Trudeau.
Watch your back. Watch your back. Watch your back. Yeah.
What a freak show. Crazy woman. Get over here.
As Ottawa police do nothing.
Ottawa police go by.
Just another day at the office, Justin. Goodness gracious, what a freak show. Young Canadian voters are speaking out against the Liberal Party. They've had enough. Play the clip.
Mr. Trudeau, what is so amazing about Canada? Because as far as I'm concerned, as soon as you started running the country, you have managed to completely ruin our economy, and you have spent an absurd amount of money on your climate change agendas and on your LGBTQ LMNOP agendas. We would be one of the best countries. We would, if you were removed from it.
There's an old saying, when you're young, you're a Democrat. When you get older, you become a Republican. What's the change? What makes people think twice? Usually when they have kids, your views change. In this case, though, you have a young person. She's seeing the devastation. All you have to do is open your eyes. All you have to do is look at your checking account. All you have to do is open your refrigerator. 8 years of Trudeau has not been a good 8 years for Canada. In San Francisco and in Vancouver, Canada, every 10 hours, a person dies from fentanyl. Play the clip.
It's a normal afternoon on the doorstep of San Francisco's main government building, a snapshot of America's fentanyl crisis. It doesn't just look stark. An average of one person every 10 hours dies in this city of a fentanyl overdose. It's often here, in the drug-ravaged Tenderloin district.
Are you a fentanyl user?
Absolutely. I've been an opiate addict for probably 10 years.
Trevor used to inject heroin, but fentanyl, he says, is a different beast, and he wants everyone to know.
I mean, the fact that this isn't a main issue, I mean, on TV every night is insane to us. I've never seen anything like it. I'll meet regular people, square Joes, on their way to work, and they'll stop, hang out with me, try this drug for the first time, and then leave their life. Literally, not leave. From that moment on, they're just out here with us.
Is that what fentanyl does?
To some people, it's insane. I've never seen anything like it. No one has.
What's it doing to the streets?
Man, I mean, it's turning everybody into, a crazy, violent drug addict.
We're doing an interview. I know, but do that somewhere else. Y'all smoking crack right here, and there's a daycare right there.
We're interrupted by private security, asking them to move out of the view of a nursery. This is a city divided on how to deal with the scourge of drugs.
This is one of the byproducts of an open border. Drugs are pouring into the United States. And as this happens, our people are getting laid to waste, all for political power. Open the borders, let them vote via mail-in ballot. That's the idea. That's why the border is open. And this is one of the consequences. Dope is flowing through the southern border. It's controlled by the cartels, and the people of America are being laid to waste. That, my friends, is a consequence of Biden's border policy. Or better put, no border policy at all. This Canadian woman tells Justin Trudeau, no, Canada is not all right. Play the clip.
So I just had a breakdown at the Atlantic Canadian Superstore because I couldn't afford something that I've bought my entire life. I've just gone to the store and been like, yeah, just pick that up. It's no big deal. We need that. It's important. You can't make it without it. And that item was too much. It was too much, and I couldn't afford it, and I couldn't even justify it. But that's not why I'm here today. I'm here to address some of us that can only afford to feed our families 50% off food. Chicken and beef that has gone bad, that smells, and chicken that has a yellow discoloration to it because it's been sat out for so long and it's past its expiration date that the stores put it 50% off so that we can have it at a discount. Justin Trudeau, I want you to feed your children a 50% off meal. A piece of chicken that stinks to high heaven, but you know that you have to eat it because there's no other option for you. I want you to buy some lettuce and pick the black mold off of that lettuce and then feed it to your daughter. How does it feel? Because it feels pretty shitty saying, oh, it's just a little mushy. I'm sure it'll be all right. I had food poisoning this morning. I was on the toilet for hours. I can't live like this, man. We can't live like this. You need to become one of us because you're just fucking it up for all of us. Like, I can't afford to live. And when I was talking to the girl at Superstore about it, she said, yeah, I know. I live in a tent. What the fuck?
Being forced to buy spoiled beef, being forced to eat rotten chicken. This is a G7 nation, and that's what you get when you have a globalist at the helm. Bottom line, globalists and their ideas do not represent the average person. Stop listening to the rhetoric. Turn off the mainstream media, because ultimately they're going to drive you into the poorhouse. Average people can't afford to vote for these individuals. They simply can't. Ultimately, they want you on the dole. Ultimately, you're going to have to be forced to take a universal income, and you will never get off the plantation again. Rhetoric and bad policies don't feed your family. Here we have a truck driver, a Canadian truck driver, telling the people how he is struggling to feed his family. Play the clip.
Everybody, I want you to meet truck driver Harry Singh. Everybody, I want you to meet truck driver Jaskaran Singh. Harry, you were telling me about your paycheck on overtime hours. Tell me more about that, Harry. Do the math you just gave me for a truck driver supporting a family.
Okay, so I work as a truck driver if I do some overtime, like we, as a truck driver, we can work 70 hours per week.
Yes.
So if we do 60 to 70 hours, I have to pay 700 to 900 taxes per week.
Wow.
It's almost 2,800 to 3,000 per month.
Per month in taxes.
In taxes only.
A guy who works 60 hours a week, gets paid $25 to $26 an hour, takes home $4,200. How would he pay $3,000 for rent, groceries, car payments? How would he pay for his kids' activities? I just need an answer.
So you're getting punished for working hard. Listen, if you like food, if you like your television, if you like your furniture, if you like anything you put on your body as clothing, thank a trucker like Harry. Harry's the guy driving 70 hours a week. You heard it from him. 70 hours a week so that you can have those goods and services. But when he does overtime work, he gets punished. He makes it, Trudeau takes it. That's the war on work we experience in this country after 8 years of Justin Trudeau. This economy cannot work. It cannot go on like this. We need to cut taxes so that people bring home more of their paycheck, and we need to lower the carbon tax so that trucking becomes more profitable for the worker who drives the truck. And the only way to do that is to get a new government, because this math does not add up.
The math doesn't add up, Canada. It simply doesn't add up. Ultimately, they want to put you on the plantation, put you on a universal income, and you will never get off the plantation. They care about ideology more than they care about you. They're going to carbon tax you to death. That means the middle class is gone. That means working people are on the dole. Do you want to be on the dole? Then keep voting for this party. Jagmeet Singh addresses a heckler. Play the clip.
Take a pause if anything goes on. If not, I'll say it's real.
Prime Minister's
hey, listen, if you're homophobic, keep it to yourself. Your homophobia is very inappropriate. You're driving away and causing an accident. I'm right here. You can have a conversation if you like.
Yeah, if you can, sorry about that.
Couple comments. Why is he saying he's homophobic? You see, that's a tactic. Granted, the heckler was kind of rude, but what does that have to do with being homophobic? That's a tactic. That's deflection. That's basically weaponizing people who don't agree with his platform. Granted, the gentleman was not using nice language. He probably could have addressed Jagmeet in a little bit more of a gentlemanly fashion. But what Jagmeet is doing there is tactical. Pick up on that. Homophobia has nothing to do with someone opposing your belief system. He's doing that to basically deflect from the horrendous consequences from his policies. Identify how the enemy operates. And yes, they are the enemy. They're the enemy of the Canadian people. Justin Trudeau is worried that people are angry. Pierre Poilievre says they're not angry, they're hurting. Play the clip.
The minister says that you're making people angry. Do Canadians need help making people angry?
Justin Trudeau is worried that people are angry. You know what I worry about? I worry about the nurse living in her van after 8 years of Trudeau. I worry about the tent cities that never existed before he was Prime Minister, but now we see every single city in Canada. I worry about the 30,000 families that have lost loved ones to drug overdoses because of the hopeless economy and situation in which they find themselves. You know what I found, interestingly? I hold these rallies, and I invite every single person at every single rally to come and shake my hand. People aren't angry. They are hurting, and they are desperate for someone who gives them hope.
Turn off the news. Do yourself a favor. Justin Trudeau is nothing more than a talking head for a greater ideology that does not represent Canadians. It took 8 years for some people to figure that out, yet still some are mesmerized by the message. Turn off the news and look at your bank account. Look at how your family is doing. People are angry, Justin Trudeau. They have every right to be angry. To all my Canadian American friends, if you like what we do on the front line, I'm asking you to give $1. Just $1. Production costs money. We do it for you. We are self-funded, and $1 goes a long way. That's less than a cup of coffee. In Canada, a cup of coffee might cost $5, so you're getting off easy. Please, just give us $1, and we'll keep the content coming your way. God bless you, and remember, stay free.